Hey guys, David Essel here. So, oh my God, sorry for the shakiness, but the other day, about maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I got an email from someone asking about love bombing. And the very same day, my very good friend, Dr. Lori Petito out of Montreal, Canada, who I'm a regular guest on, contacted me and asked me if I would do a segment with her on love bombing. And I said, absolutely. You know, it's like one of those things where you go, so many people talk about it, many people don't even know about it, and we've been doing work for 27 years in the world of relationships, and it is huge. It's been around since the beginning of the time. There's many articles being written right now, almost as if this is brand new. You know, this is something that just has started to happen. My God, if you go back to Prince and Princesses, I see Maxine is with me from London. If you go back to London time, baby, love bombing was happening back then. It's been happening all over the world. And it is what it is it's an infatuation by someone who's trying to gain control in a relationship early by bombing you with compliments and gifts and presents and time and you name it, baby. It's all over the world. It has been. Now they finally put a term to it. But let me back up a little bit. The first time I heard about love bombing was about 25 years ago when I was working with someone who was being sucked into a cult. Now, that might seem really weird that I'm talking about loving relationships and a cult, but that's what cults do. They tell you what you want to hear. They tell you that you're amazing. They tell you you're special. They tell you you're going to have the family that you never had. They tell you you're going to have the love you never experienced. They do all of these things in the world of a cult to suck you in. Love bombing is no different. It's the same identical thing. So a couple weeks ago, I was working with a woman who had told me about this process this guy did on her. She was out of a divorce, not too long out of a terrible divorce. She was susceptible. This guy came in and on their first date said, oh my God, I'm already falling in love with you. Big red flag. On the second date, he said, I can't live without you. Big red flag. On the third date, he brings like 24 roses to this event and she's blown away and her heart is wide open. She's getting sucked in. Before you know it, 2 weeks later, he's saying, hey, when you're at the restaurant, who are you with? Oh, I'm with my girlfriends. Oh, are you really? Take a picture and prove it. She said, okay. She took a picture. The next day, he said, hey, where are you right now? And she said, I'm at lunch with a girlfriend of mine. He goes, oh, really? Are you sure you're not with a guy? Take a picture. See, they suck you in with all of these compliments and all of this how I can't live without you, and it's all about control. I had a guy that went through the same thing 4 years ago. After the very first date, the next day, the girl showed up at work ahead of him. She worked at a different business and left him a brand new shirt in his exact size. The very next day, she left him his favorite dessert. The very next day, she left him tickets to a concert. You know, she was setting it up. She was reeling it in. Another guy that got love bombed was taken over by the world of sexting. He thought this girl was really cute, and how did she grab him? She started sending him nude pictures of her every day. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and before you know it, he's sucked in. Now, once they have you in that situation, they're looking for total control. And all of a sudden, as the woman example I was telling you a little while ago, he started saying, you know, I think you're cheating on me. And she goes, oh my God. And she started thinking maybe she was nuts. And that's where the control sets in. Love bombing is unbelievable. Now, who does this love bombing? Well, there's a little bit of a differentiation here I want to give you, and that is this. A person who is really attracted to you could do very similar things, but there's no control involved. Do you get the difference? Like there may be someone that on the third date sends you 67 flowers for some, maybe that's your birthday. You were born in 67, right? And then all of a sudden you go, oh my God, that's a little over the top. But maybe they're just really interested. They don't have a leash on you yet. They're not trying to tie you in. The love bomber will say, you don't need to spend time with your family and friends. Come on, it's you and I. We need to go do this. Everything the love bomber does is in exclusivity because they're trying to gain control. They're trying to make you their property. It's very, very common. It's not that uncommon at all. The people that do this, they run that really fine line of sociopathic tendencies, narcissistic tendencies. It's not a healthy engagement at all. So many clients that I've worked with who have been love bombed, they say, you know, on the third or fourth week, I got this bad feeling in my stomach. but they kept going forward. The more forward you go in accepting gifts and compliments and all these things, the more they have you under control. Does that make sense? And then eventually it gets to the point where crazy making takes over. You actually think you're nuts. You actually think that, oh my God, this guy is the greatest thing in the world. This woman's the greatest thing. Why am I having these feelings of being afraid or insecure? Why am I not feeling as confident? Why am I not hanging out with my friends as much as I used to? Why? See, all those questions are things you need to take seriously. Here's something else. A lot of clients I've worked with who have been love bombed, their friends were warning them from the beginning. Oh my God, this guy is a nutcase. He's trying to control you. He's separating you from us. We used to always go out on Saturdays. You don't ever go out anymore. We used to do something on Thursdays. You don't do that anymore. That's like a massive red flag. So it's all about control. It's flattery that leads to control. It's the same thing that cults do. You have to be very careful of this. So now I'm going to talk about the three types, and I'm just going to say women, okay? The three type of women who are most susceptible to this are those recently divorced or recently out of a long-term relationship, or those who have not dated in a very long time, or here's the biggest category at all. A woman who did not have a strong male role model as a child. I'm going to repeat that. A woman who did not have a strong male role model as a child and never did the healing work to move past that, highly susceptible to a man who has the wherewithal to shower you with compliments, gifts, and more. There was a woman I worked with who on the very first date, the guy rented a private plane for them to fly somewhere for dinner. She was blown away. 3 days later, he's saying, I got to see you again. 2 days later, he's saying, we should be exclusive. A week later, he's saying, I need to see you every day. Do you see the pattern? It's like a huge suck in. You're being sucked into the vortex. It is one of the most unhealthiest things to do. All of the women mainly that I've worked with, there's been 2 guys I worked with who were love bombed. They all come in emotionally shattered. They lose self-confidence. They lose self-esteem. So the final couple minutes, I'm going to tell you what the hell do you do when you start to sense someone is going ahead and love bombing you. Number 1, slow it down. What the love bomber gets off on is control, and the more they can see you, the more they can text you, the more they can control your time, the more of an advantage they have. So if you start to feel like this is a little too much too soon, pull back. Let them know you can see them once a week. Let them know you can text them once a day. Let them know you can talk to them 2 times a week. Slow it down. If it's a true love bomber, within a couple weeks, they're going to be gone. They know they're not going to be able to control you, and they're going to take off. Hey, share this video. This happens more and more than people could ever imagine. Share it on your wall. Let people see what the difference is between someone who is a love bomber and someone who's just super attracted to you and very interested in you. The person who's super attractive, when you say, hey, this is going a little too fast, a little too soon, will go, you know what? I totally get it. You tell me how often you'd like to talk. You tell me how often you'd like to see me. You tell me what you'd like to do. In other words, they'll share. They will listen. They will share. They will pull back themselves. The love bomber, no way. They'll keep flattering you. They'll show up unexpectedly. They'll be giving you gifts, calls, and text because they don't want to lose control. If I can help you at all, go to our website, www.talkdavid.com or davidessel.com. And if you've been bombed by someone like this, we can help rebuild your confidence and self-esteem. Okay? Have an awesome, awesome day.